Welcome to Sidebar. I'm Eric Berman. I'm the Communications Director here at the Massachusetts Association of Realtors, and I'm joined today by Michael McDonough, our General Counsel and Government Affairs Director. And today we're going to be talking about changes to the agency disclosure form that were recently made by the Massachusetts Board of Registration of Real Estate Brokers and Salespersons. So, Mike, what has changed?
So the new form is a little bit different. When you look at the language, you'll see that it's a little bit clearer, and so that helps with customers and clients. And there's the check boxes below that look very similar to the way the former form looked like. But in this case, now we have a new box for a buyer or seller, so that the broker or the salesperson completing the form will need to indicate who they're representing, the buyer or the seller. So that's just the one real modification to the new form.
So why did they make these changes?
So the Board of Registration put together a committee made up of brokers, instructors, attorneys. They wanted to simplify the form and make it a little bit clearer for customers and clients to understand, number one. Also, number two, the board, I think, was getting a lot of complaints that the former form looked a lot like a contract, and people didn't want to sign the form because it looked too much like a contract. They thought they were signing an agreement when in fact it's just a disclosure. Also, there was a problem with the old form. If you were in a designated agency office and you were trying to provide the form to a buyer customer who was not being represented, and you wanted to indicate to that buyer that you in fact worked for the seller, there was really no way to disclose that properly on the old form. So the new form makes that correction, and now that's possible.
Okay, so Mike, I'm a realtor. When do I need to start using this form?
So you should start using the form immediately. The form is available on all of the MAR electronic forms platforms. It's on our blog. There's a link to where it sits on the Board of Registration's own website, but it should be readily usable now on the electronic platforms.
Okay, so my last question, and probably the one a lot of our viewers are thinking about, what happens if I'm in the middle of a transaction and I've used the old form? Do I have to have my client sign a new one?
If you're in the middle of a transaction, you've used the old form, that old form at the time you used it was in compliance with the license law in Massachusetts, so there's really no need to have your client fill out a new form. You should, of course, keep records and keep a copy of the form that you did fill out for 3 years as the license law requires. So there's nothing that's changed around that. Also, nothing's changed about when this needs to be presented. The form must be still presented at the first personal meeting to discuss a specific property. None of that has changed. None of the agency laws have changed. It's just really just more of a revised and updated form from the board.
Okay, so that was a question I meant to ask. So the law hasn't changed, just the form.
Exactly. Nothing in the law has changed at all. The agency law, timing, or what in fact you are disclosing. It's just a new form with a bit of a new look, sort of an upgraded look that's a little bit easier, hopefully, for buyers and sellers to understand.
Oh, great. Well, Mike, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. If you want any more information, go to our blog, themarreport.com, for more information on the changes and why they were made. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Eric.